Hello guys, I thought today I would show you replacing the tail lights to LED. I'd like to thank a member of the forum, Greg, for finding them on Amazon. I had looked a year or two ago but didn't see anything I liked and saw his post, and of course you know I'm all about an upgrade, so I went and picked up a set. And I have to thank him for finding them. That made it great, and I thought they looked fantastic on his coat. Okay, I thought I would show this a little bit because what I've noticed, you can see that the screws absolutely are not holding much. I think they've been on there so long, you know, they've got a little silicone around it, and there's not much to it. So this is kind of how it looks as we take it off. So we'll need to get this cleaned up. This is the wiring. You can see the silicone. We'll have to clean that up there. But you can see these screw holes, they're not too much. So I think we're going to have to put a little backing back there to make that new screws hold. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the worst off. Here. That stuff is sticky. A plastic razor blade I've found always to be the best. Now the only problem is I kind of run out of new plastic razor blades. I've got to order some more. But this is pretty small, so it should clean up okay. And then I've got some mineral spirits on this rag, and I'm going to use that to clear all the stuff off, kind of get it off real good. Everything looks pretty good back here. I don't see any problems. So we didn't have any leaks. So I think I got a little bit right there. But you can see these razor blades, they just go bad quick. You don't want to use a metal one because it'll mess up yours. Kind of like doing decals. It'll mess up, but you got to keep good razor blades when you're doing this. It just really makes life a lot easier. That's the same thing when you're doing the decals. You know, you want to really make sure you get that off, and we want to get everything off because you want to make sure that seals again. We don't want to create a problem, you know, on that. We want to make sure that's sealed tight. And I know it's got a new rubber gasket, but I want to make sure. So we got all that cleaned up. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to get some denatured alcohol and go over that here in just a second. All right, I'm going to get this denatured alcohol, finish cleaning this up. And that'll wipe any grime off and take any spirits off and kind of get that off. Now you may notice that I look like I got one of the wife's wash rags. She gave me permission. She donated this to the shop. So don't get me in trouble by saying I've been using the wife's wash rags to clean the RV, because I definitely would be in trouble with that. All right guys, I kind of wanted to show you this. See if I can get you a little closer here. Get you where we can kind of see this. Okay, I think you can see the wiring now. So if you notice, Winnebago, and this is mentioned in the forum, they use yellow wires and white wires. That's what they use. So as we look at that, and I'm going to go back and check it, I'll let you know that all the white wires are going to be the ground wires. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And then the green and the black, one will be running lights and one's going to be turn signals or brakes. And you see each one is done that way. So we have 3 whites, one to each light, and we have a black and a green, a black and a green, and a black for the backup lights. Okay, now I'm going to cheat. I could go in there and turn each one on and meter it out and see what's what. But because the forum's kind of done that for me, I'm going to go back and listen to what they had to say. And I think they printed it on a post, so I'll add that into the thing, and then we'll watch it while I wire it up. Maybe be helpful while you're trying to put this together. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. I didn't know, I just saw it. Let's see if I can get it in the, hopefully you can see it in the camera. On the back of the new light, as white is ground, green is high mode, brown is low mode, yellow is high mode, black is low mode, and blue is backup. So we know the blue is a backup, and we know the white is the ground. So we've eliminated 2 of the wires. So we know we can hook these 2 up. So we'll end up hooking the white wire to the 3 grounds. I mean, technically you could hook it to just one of them. It would do the same thing, but got to cap them off anyway. Why not just hook them up all 3? And we know that the blue wire is going to go to this black wire. So we got 2 of them worked out. Now we just got to figure out the high and low from Winnebago, which one's which. So I'm going to cheat and go on the forum, on Greg's forum or on his post, and see what the guys posted. And I'll try to post that up also. All right, we're going to get started. I'm going to do the easy ones first. We're going to do these 3 white ground ones. So we'll start with them. Okay, you're going to see on the light it has this gasket and it's self-sticking. I'm not sure which way it goes, but it seems like to me put it on the back of the light ahead of time be a lot easier. I can pull the wires through. So I'm going to line my holes up and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I got that, and we're going to go ahead and do the 3 wires for the ground. Now you could tape them off, but if you watched one of my videos up earlier, you'll notice that under the coach I had a few ground problems. So it makes me want to use them all in case one fails. We had some of the connectors for the grounds had corroded completely out. Now I like these bell caps. Some people do, some people don't, but I like them, so that's what I'm going to use. All right, so we got the ground. So we know the ground is good. So the next one that we know we can use will be the blue wire. And we know that the blue wire goes to the black, where the black one was for the backup. So we're going to do that next. Okay, we've got the ground, the backup, and this black wire and this brown wire here off the new light goes to the black wires off the old light. So here's the black wires. I see them right there. There's the black wires. There's one on either side. Won't matter which one. You go in there and hook them up. And what we've done is we just kind of process of elimination. We took the ones, here again, I'm thankful for Greg, because he did all the work ahead. I didn't have to go and meter them out and find out what was what. I just went with his stuff. So now we're looking good. We've got the ground, we got the backup, and we got the low running lights. So this would be just running lights right here on these 2 low ones. Now the next one we're going to do is we got to get the turn signals. So basically these will be the brake lights and turn signals. Now they go to each one because they're both going to come on at the same time. So the next thing we're going to do is hook those 2 up. Okay, this is the last high wire. I'm going to cut it off. And the old unit, which sure did look old, and I'm so tickled to be able to find something that looks new again. So we've done with that, and we're going to hook up the last green wire. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to dab a little silicone on the back of these bell connectors just to keep them from, being too, kind of keep the water out of them. Although, to be honest, got a little stuff there. To be honest, if you get water in here, you got big problems. So I just take a little dab, just enough to make a mess. Kind of keep that water out of those connections so that they can't get no dampness in there. All right, we got that done. Now the next thing that this will fit back in here, that will be pretty easy, won't be much to it, You just tuck that back in. Let me get you over here where you can see. Hold on just a second. Okay, here's the problem. As you can see, you ain't hit nothing. I just running into the foam. There ain't nothing there to hold that light tight. And we want to make sure that light is tight. And I don't just lie. I'm going to put a little silicone around here on this top 3 sides before I put it on. But we want to make sure that these screws will pull up tight. And they've just wore out over the years. You know, they've taken it on and on, changed light bulbs. In my case, previous owner had put LED light bulbs in it. You know, but still, you know, we want to make sure these screws are good to go. So let's see what we can come up with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I got a little piece of sheet metal. Let me get some push on. Okay, I got a little piece of sheet metal here, and I'm just going to push it. I don't have to get it way in there because it just has to be behind the screw. You know, the hardest thing is you got to get it between the foam and the board. The good news is as you get further up, you got more to work with. So we're going to just get that up in there, just enough to catch it. So that's all we want to do. I'm going to do the corners first because, you know, I think that's the most important part. So we're going to slide that up. This slides up pretty easy, and I know you can't see it on the camera, but I can actually see see it going in there. Let's see if I can get one here. Now this foam is glued to this sheeting, 1/8 inch sheeting with the fiberglass on it, so it's pretty good. So we almost got that right there. So let's push that in. I think we got one more to go. Now it might not be much on this one, so, but I'm least worried about this one. So. All right, now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna just try to go through these. I'm gonna pre-drill them so when we put the screws in, it doesn't push on them too much. Yeah, just push them up in there best you can, and that'll give something for them screws to hold. Okay, I've gotten a bit just slightly smaller than my screw, and I just wanna do a hole just enough so that screw will go through. And we kind of take it easy. We don't want to go all the way through the wall. That would be bad. I'm going to test it. Yeah, that works good. Let's go ahead and do the rest. And that styrofoam's right behind that. And as you can see, it doesn't take but a second. All right. One more. And hold that one. All right. Now that gives us something good to screw the light to. But now, as any good thing, you know, we've had folks, they did it for us and everything. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test this. We want to make sure that it works. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to run in. You let me know if it works. You holler when you see it. All right, you got to speak up. I can't hear you all the way in the front. There's the turn signal. Now I know that the turn signals are working, the brake lights are going to work. So what I'm going to do next is the backup light. All right, the backup light works, but I'm going to have to get better help. Y'all not speaking very loud, just soft. All right, let me go turn all this off and then we'll mount the light. All right, we got everything. We know it works. Let's take this loose. Got this screw right here. I just barely got it in there. I'll take that off. All right, now you can do different things you want to do. I like to put a little, I've had trouble in this back wall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a small bead of silicone just part way. I don't seal the bottom, but I don't like to seal that in. I just put a little dab on these top ones, you know, just to keep that water out. Ain't much there. You could take it back out. It won't. I didn't put enough on there to get it where you can't get the screws. All right, so that should take care of that. All right, now we're gonna get our light up here, make sure our wires are in good shape, and I'm gonna push that right on there. Now I would recommend, of course it's all up to you, this is all just, you know, as always, just my opinion. I would not use a drill on this. Do it by hand. I can tell you, you cannot feel the screws. You will pull them in too tight and damage the sheet metal you put back there, strip it out, and it doesn't take but a second to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I got the screws in there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them up. I'm gonna pull them all up by hand until I feel it snug up. And I'm not gonna over tighten it, I'm just gonna collapse that foam just a wee bit. Just enough, so I don't strip it. I heard that one pop. Probably one too many turns, so. Okay, now that's it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you wanna see them in action, go to Greg Combs' post. And he's got them blinking on the back of his RV. They are beautiful. I hope that was some help and gave you kind of a step-by-step way to do that.